Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to be prepping and planting our vegetable garden. First, I got to open up all this mulch and get that spread out. That shouldn't take too long. But the plan is to get that pile of compost, get that into the garden, and just lightly turn over the garden. What we're going to do is plant sunflowers in the majority of the garden this year, and we're going to plant this stuff with vegetables. And this right here, I'm going to get this leveled out and positioned correctly, and then fill it with all this stuff, and we're going to plant all flowers in here. What we're planning on doing eventually, well, a little bit each year, we're going to have a brick walkway coming through here, and then brick paths between all of the flower beds. And all of the flower beds are going to be galvanized like this. We're going to have probably a couple like this. We're going to have a stock tank raised up on a platform so that it's easy to get at. We're going to have culvert pipes buried in the ground and have them at various heights. We're going to have 2-foot culvert pipes and plant those as well. And everything's going to be kind of random with bricks in between them. This year, again, we're starting with just this. We're going to plant it with all flowers, and the rest of the garden is going to be sunflowers. And then next year, we're going to put black plastic over the rest of the garden and probably add like 3 culvert pipe gardens right in here. But we will be adding different planters every year. Okay, but for today, let's get this mulch out of the way, and then I'm going to do as little tilling as I can get away with. This stuff seems a bit hard, so I just want to till it enough so that the seeds take real easy, but I'm not going to go down like 8-9 inches like I normally do. So just a minor till, and we'll plant them sunflowers, but this and this are going to come first. Okay, here's what happened. I was spreading the mulch over there, and I realized I wasn't going to have quite enough. I don't need to do the further part down there, but I needed 1 or 2 more bags for this area, so I decided to run and get mulch. And while I was there, I got a couple more of these gerberias and some hanging pots. Before I could do anything, it got pretty dark, and then we were supposed to get like 0.3 inches of rain overnight. We got 1.5 inches. So the garden is all mud. So what I can do is get these planted and get the rest of this mulch put in place. There's some bags down, way down there as well. Get that done. And like I said, this is garden vegetables, and I can't do that yet. So I'll probably have to continue the video tomorrow to finish it up, making it a 3-day video. But it is what it is. Let's get these plants in the ground first thing, and then redo the mulch around those, and then finish up the mulch, and then we'll come back tomorrow and finish it up. It looks like it's going to rain more today. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay, it's day 3, and I think I can get into the garden. We'll go check on that in a second. Yesterday, I got these daisies planted and all of the rest of the mulch spread. You can see it way down there. So today, I have to get all of this stuff planted, and I have a ton of seeds. Whole bunch of flower seeds for that planter over there, so I got to get that leveled and filled. And I have snap peas for here. The rest is the potted plants. So yeah, this is still really muddy, but it is what it is. I don't have another day. It's going to rain again tomorrow. So what I got to do is kind of get this where it needs to go. Yeah, I'll have to kind of sight down the fence. It looks about right. We'll get this level. It's kind of twisted right now. I don't want to get it level this way, because then that end would have to come up, and then doing any brickwork along the grass there is not going to work out right. So I'll go get the level, and we're just going to put rocks and various things under here and there to get it stable, and then once we start filling it, it's going to stay where it is. Yeah, that looks pretty good the way it is. When I put the bricks in here, I'm going to straighten this edge out, and then I'm going to come right around, and then we'll go back over this way. I don't think I'll leave this in here. Maybe I'll just take the brick around like that and then continue the brick. But that'll be in future videos. Today, we just got to get this level this way. All right. Looking at this thing from right here, you can see that this corner is higher than that corner. I don't want to press that down into the ground. I want to raise that up over there. But you can also see, or maybe you can see, I've seen it before, it's more visible from the road, but it's kind of twisted. And you can see that real clear with the level. This side is high, and then over here, this side is real high. So it twists like that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll just push this down just a little bit to get it firm with the ground, and then get that bubble in the middle. Okay, so we need, looks like about 1 inch to 1.5 inches under here. I'm gonna go get some old pavers and flat rocks and stuff like that to shim this thing up, and once it's filled, it's gonna stay right where it is, and at some later point we're gonna have that brick going right up against it. This is gonna be a really cool area at some point. It's gonna look pretty cool later this year once these flowers come up. Okay, something about 1 inch for right there. All right, you can see how high it's off the ground right there, and like I said, once I start filling this, it's gonna spill underneath that, and I think when I till the garden, I'll backfill up against that a little bit. The garden is way off level. It's just a garden after all, but there we go there. I haven't checked this end in a while, but yeah, that's still level. So that is right where I want it. Now I'm gonna put these wood chips in the bottom, and I'm gonna add a couple shovels full of soil from the woods because it has some really nice microbes in it. And I'll be adding a little bit of nitrogen because decomposing wood uses a lot of nitrogen, and I don't want this stealing the nitrogen from the rest of the soil. So this in the bottom, and then a mixture of peat moss and topsoil. This is actually compost. It's a really nice compost as well. So let's get her in there. Should also mention, I'm going to be using this soil bacteria booster and worm tea on both the bottom part and the soil that I put over the top of that. So I'm going to be mixing the mulch, a little bit of peat moss, and a little bit of topsoil in the bottom, and then I'm going to put this stuff on it. You start with the worm tea and warm water and fill up your whatever you're using to water it, and then you add the soil bacteria and then let it sit for 20 minutes, and then you have to use it within 4 hours. Once the bacteria is activated, it starts eating whatever is around it, and it'll eat up some of the mulch and create some nice soil down there. Never used this before. I'm doing a review on their backpack sprayer. I did a review last year and it broke, so they sent a new one. I'm going to do a new review on that, and they sent this along last year along with that mulch glue, and I'll be reapplying the mulch glue in another video real soon. But I thought I would mention that because I'm going to put this on time lapse and you'll see me doing it, and now you'll know what I'm doing. got this nice and hand smoothed. Now for the seeds. The zinnia are the tallest. Then the 4 o'clocks. I'm going to dump these into a little bowl so I can see what I have. I am going to overplant so that it kind of spills over the edges. Snapdragon is the next tallest. Then the Chinese forget-me-not. We're going to have marigolds on both ends. And the smallest is California poppy. I'm going to try to get that along the 2 edges. So we'll start with this zinnia, and then we'll go right down the middle with that, and then get the 4 o'clocks right alongside of those. Well, not right alongside. We'll go maybe right here. All right. It's so weird having this few seeds, because normally we plant a 1/4 pound of zinnias. So these have a 1/4 inch depth, and then thin 18 to 24. We're not going to be doing that. We're just going to let them go whatever they, well, actually we're going to thin a little bit. But what I'll do is just take my finger and make a nice little row, and then try to evenly space these in that row. And then we'll do a little bit of thinning later, but not much. Now for the vegetables. I have these 4 right here, 2 bell peppers and 2 tomatoes. One's a beefsteak, one's a cherry tomato, and this is red and yellow. What I'm going to do with them is kind of evenly space them between the T-posts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the other openings, I'm going to plant these sweet peas. I'm going to plant them on both sides, and once they come up, I'll put some strings going up to the cattle fence here. But until then, I'm just going to let them go. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I'm going to hit them with the lawnmower, but I should be good. Okay, and then when we're done with that, we'll just have that last bit of flowers, but for that, that's going to be a good deal of work. I'm going to be getting rid of this pile here, kind of spreading it out. So I'm going to have to grab the wheelbarrow and fill that and blah, blah, blah. And then I have to turn this over lightly, just a little bit, maybe the top 3-4 inches, all the way up to that mulch line and all the way back to the ditch garden there. And that's going to get the sunflower seeds. But these got to go in first. Okay. I have the tomatoes and the peppers planted. I'll show you that in a minute. Now for the peas. I think, I don't know, I'll do the math and see how many plants I want. I'll probably put 2 or 3 to a hole, but first I'm going to till the area up just a little bit. Okay, these need to be 2 inches apart in double rows, spaced 6 inches, so 3 inches on either side of the T-post. I guess we'll be doing 1 per hole because that's quite a bit. Okay, let's till that up a little bit. Whoa, that was dumb. Let's till that up a little bit and get these in the ground. It's kind of late for these. Oh, by maybe a week or so, so that's not too bad. These probably should have been planted at the beginning of May, or even a week before that. They should have been planted early spring or in the fall. And it's now, well, it's mid-spring. All right, let's go till that up a little bit and get these in the ground. Okay, we got the veggies planted. That pepper does not look that good, but I think it's gonna make it. Tomatoes planted 2/3 of the entire plant below the ground. And this is just gonna be, well, actually it's gonna remain here. I'm gonna take the rocks off though. I'm gonna cover this with mulch and mulch the general vegetable garden area, and what is left is moving some of that stuff out into this area and then lightly turning over this entire thing. It'll probably take, I'm gonna guess, about 2 hours, maybe a little more, to turn this over, and then it's just a matter of tossing seeds. It's already, what is it, like 1 o'clock? Something like that. And we've been working on this since 9. Okay, so 4.5 hours so far, and another 1.5 hours. I'm gonna take a little break, go walk the dogs, come back, and start turning over dirt. So I ran to town and got 6 bags of mulch. I'm going to put that around the vegetables here, a little bit here, and if any's left, I'll put it along this little trail here and maybe around the flower container. But this is it. I have enough seed for, if you took this entire thing and planted it in sunflowers, I would have enough seed for that. So I got a good deal more than enough seed. So what I'm going to do is broadcast my seed, and then any that's left over, I'm going to go down that way and up that way, oh, probably just 20-30 feet or so, so that all of the sunflowers are right in this area. They come up pretty good in that ditch without any messing around, but the ones in here, I'm going to toss the seed and then I'm going to lightly rake it in, and that'll do it. show you the seed. This is mixed sunflower, and how many varieties are in here? I think it's only like 6 varieties. So I'm going to mix that with the horticultural perlite in, I thought I had a clean bucket. Doesn't matter. We'll mix it in here. Mix it up, toss it, and then we'll get that mulch down. And I think I'm going to leave these for tomorrow, because by the time I'm done raking this, it's going to be nearly dark out. I think it's already 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I'm getting a little tired. That'll be about 12 hours of this. All right, well, I'll just dump this in the garden. Mix this up, and we're off to the races. All right. We're supposed to get a little bit of rain overnight, but you can never trust that. Got to get these seeds started. You could see by the sun that it's pretty darn late. This was a big job, but now it's done. This is going to be a very interesting area this summer. It's way too packed. It's going to be hard to get into the garden. I'll probably have to do some pruning on the sunflowers, but that's okay. It'll look really cool. So that's going to wrap up this video. I have a little bit more planting to do, something very interesting, and then I'll be done. Besides those petunias, I'm not going to film that. I'm just going to pop those in the ground tomorrow morning. So if you want to see any of those videos and see the progress on this garden right here, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.